So have you ever noticed how a dog will shake itself off after it's had some sort of interaction with another dog that has increased the intensity in its body? And so literally, if you don't have dogs, I'll explain to you what it's like because I do. They might be, say, sort of at the dog park, or you might be taking them for a walk on a lead and they see another dog and they get heightened, like either because they're excited or because they're actually feeling like, oh, I'm trying to tell the other one that I'm the boss here or whatever. And they go like this and they start like, their back heads might go up a bit or their body might tense or something like that. And then when they move away from that situation, you'll see they just naturally shake it off like this. And we can do that too to help us to shake off energy that feels like it's really taken hold over our body, and when we have heightened situations, but also when we're feeling like we're really flat as well, we can shake it off. But the thing is with our shaking it off is that we want to, once again, make it really safe. So in this lesson, what I'm going to teach you is how to make that shaking really safe. Okay, because the shaking somatically can be very powerful, but it can actually bring a lot of stuff to the surface if we don't make our body safe at the same time. So to bring the safety to our body and shake off the stuff that's, wired us or made us feel flat, we're going to bring back a technique from module 1, which is the spinal breath, but I'm going to add another layer to it. So remember the spinal breath, where we imagine as we breathe in, we breathe into the very top of our spine, which actually sits up the back here in our skull. So we imagine the in-breath goes into the very top of our spine. And as we breathe out, the out-breath meanders down each vertebrae in our spine. So let's do it a couple of times together. Just get comfy here. So imagine the in-breath, and it can be very light. It doesn't need to be big. We're focusing on the out breath, but the in breath comes in and it hits the very top of your spine. And as you breathe out, you feel it meander down each vertebrae in your spine and then out your tailbone. Let's do it 2 more times. So now I'm going to add another layer to it. I'm going to add a technique that's called Ujjayi breath. And I don't know if you've ever done this. It comes from the tradition of yoga. And basically in Ujjayi breath, we are constricting the throat so that we slow the breath down. Okay, so much like the balloon breath that we did, where we're blowing out like that. So we have less surface area through which the breath is moving out of our body, which means it naturally has to slow down. So our out breath is longer. With Ujjayi breath, we are constricting the throat so that the surface area is smaller and the breath moves more slowly. But in Ujjayi, we're going to do it with both the in-breath and the out-breath. So if you imagine that you are blowing onto a mirror, so if you hold up your hand in front of you and imagine it's a mirror and you want to blow on it like you're fogging it up like this. So can you feel the back of your throat there, where the comes from? That's the part of our throat we're going to constrict. But one way of kind of getting it is if you do the but then close your mouth and do it with your mouth closed. Did you feel that? So that's where we feel like we're breathing into and out of. So the breath, it's like we breathe in through that part of our throat all the way into our body, and then we breathe out of it. Ujjayi is also called ocean breath because it can sound like the ocean when you're breathing in with this constriction there. So if you try it, like I'll do it up close so you can kind of hear me. So it's like the, but I'm doing it both ways. But with my mouth closed. And what I'm doing is actually constricting my throat so that I'm slowing the breath down. So try it with me for a few breaths. See how it slows your breath down? Now we're going to do it with the spinal breath. So as you breathe in, you can feel yourself constricting the breath, but you imagine the breath is going into the top of your spine. And as you breathe out down your spine, but with that constriction in your throat as well. Okay, so let's do that a few times together. It's actually a really powerful breath. And when you get the hang of it, you can kind of do it anywhere, and you can make it a bit lighter so that no one can quite hear what you're doing. It's also called the Darth Vader breath. So ocean breath, Darth Vader breath, Ujjayi breath. So yeah, you could literally do it like when you're just sitting on the couch, or when you're driving your car. If you feel like there's a lot of road rage around you and you're feeling dysregulated, you can do it then. It really helps to bring the mind, the body together around the breath, and the lengthening of the breath tells your nervous system that you're actually safe right now. Okay, so now let's add that to some somatic shaking, which helps us to release energy that we've picked up across the day, lots of tension. So I'm going to put you up here, and we come back here. Okay, so remember how I've said this in a few of the lessons, that when we pick up energy across the day, it'll show up in our body, whether we need to like contract our shoulders like that to protect ourselves, or if we feel like we lose our power in a situation, like we thought we were going to get a promotion and we didn't get it. It can feel like we're winded, like that, and the body goes like that. Or we might feel like we're trying to push our way through our life, or we feel like we've had to really fight for something and be very defensive. Our chin might go out like that. So our body will literally, in all the muscles and the fascia and all the parts of us, will show us what's been going on. So a way to really work with releasing that which is held in our body, which is the memory of us not being safe, we can do this like this shaking like this. So you just like, and you can even make a noise like this, like really shake it off. You might even like throw your body around a bit like this. Like make sure obviously you're not hurting yourself, but do whatever you need to feel like you're releasing the tension. And then let's stop. Now we're going to tell our nervous system that we're actually safe. Okay, so I want you to do that Ujjayi spinal breath. So breathing into the top of your spine, breathing out with the Ujjayi breath all the way down each vertebrae of your spine and out your tailbone. Keep doing that while I tell you why. When we've had like all these things that have happened across time that have held themselves in our body, as we start to release them out, it can sit into our nervous system the energy again, right? So our nervous system feels that energy again and might feel like, oh my God, I'm not safe. So then we stop and we bring safety to the present moment into our body and nervous system, right? So let's do it again, okay? So take a second, scan your body for where you're holding tension. And then we don't need to know the story for it or why it's there or what it is or anything. Just intuitively move in a way that gets it out of your body. Just about 20 more seconds. Okay, now let's bring safety back to it. You ready? This time I want you to think about the 3 points of each foot, and I want you to let your body yield down into the earth. You're being held by the earth. And now do the Ujjayi spinal breath. Breathing into the tip of your spine, with the constricted throat. Breathing out, down each vertebrae of your spine and out your tailbone. Beautiful. Let's do it just one more time, okay? And when you do this, I encourage you to practice it in threes like I'm teaching you now. Okay, so releasing tension from your body. Good. And you ready? Okay, let's bring safety to it. 3 points of each foot, yield into your legs, into your feet, and let's find the spinal breath with the Ujjayi version of it. Good. So you can do that, whenever you feel like your body has tensed up in reaction to something that's just gone on, or you can do it as a matter of like having this physical hygiene where you every day or a few days a week, you work on releasing, but you've got to make sure that you release briefly, no more than a minute, and then you do the regulation technique, and then do it again, regulation, do it again, regulation, just 3 times, okay? But make sure you finish on the regulation. All right, I'll see you in the next one.